Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-Pad. Welcome to our April. I had to check whether it was May or not. That's where my brain's at. It's the April 2021.
This is the month your birthday is in. You should know what month it's in.
You'd be surprised. I made a terrible mistake by having the D-Pad's birthday be the day after my birthday because it means every year my brain goes to planning or prepping for some kind of anniversary thing and thereby completely forgetting my own birthday. So that's fun. The first birthday I'll celebrate in 31 years is going to be as soon as the D-Pad isn't a thing anymore, and that'll be the 31-year gap between celebrated birthdays. We'll just be then.
Okay.
But yeah, it's May in 3 3/4 hours here anyway.
It is soon to be May.
It is soon to be May. It's May for Final Biscuit, presumably. How's May doing? How's the first 74 minutes been so far?
Thanks, nobody. Basically, I like it.
Hey,
Sarah
like
and Mr.
Stuff, so.
Sarah.
Yes, yeah. It'll be Mr. Sarah and just Sarah. That sounds about right.
I mean, yes, no, it 100% Alex Britt. You're totally correct.
Yeah, I'd say that's fairly accurate for sure. Oh man. But yeah, so this is our Patreon Hangout for anybody who's joining us for the first time. Welcome. I don't know if there's anyone in here.
This is the time we tell you we're going to tell you about what we're going to do, and then actually we just spend a whole bunch of time chatting with the chat.
Chatting about a bunch of other stuff,
and randomly
too.
discussing things, yes.
Yeah. If you're watching this after the fact, you can get in on this by going to patreon.com/dpadfm.
And then make us answer your random questions.
Yes, yes indeed. I actually got to double check. Somebody went in for our 20/20 equivalent because we changed the prices a couple years ago. Like it's less than 20.
It's 19 because of the weird tax thing or something.
Patreon started doing a thing, or they were threatening to, and then they didn't, and then they did a different version of it. So that's fun.
I mean, laundry's good, Final Biscuit. Laundry's a good thing to get done. So
it's gonna be a laundry month. That's not bad. It's gonna be smelling very pretty for all of May.
I'm saying laundry's important.
Yeah. But yeah, we have someone who's on our $20 tier. So I was looking at it earlier and I didn't get a chance to respond to them, so I got to do that after we're done with this.
Gojira'd.
Stinko Man, I don't know if we're going to do necessarily.
Woo! Nice SD hero.
Because if we played all of the Mega Man clones that ever existed, we would be here till we were 70 years old.
Yeah, we only play the Mega Man clones Rick decides he wants to play.
Well, so I'm trying to. Whoa! I got this one rogue hair.
Yeah, it always does that, baby.
Right on my part.
It always does that. You just don't normally notice.
Yeah. So I have to. Oh my God! It's a jerf.
It's a jerfree.
So I have to decide. Basically, I have to take a look at it and see. It's not even so much just high profile, but like commercially sold was kind of a big thing for the initial inclusions, because we had Mega Mari, which was commercially sold on the NES, and we had not Mega Mari.
Yes, slurp them.
Oh my God, I forgot the name of it. It's the one with the witch.
Mega Mari?
No, not that. I guess that's also a witch.
Final Biscuit.
Not Mega Mari.
We see how it is.
Mega Mari is the Toho Project one that was released for PC, but there was an NES one that's literally probably right behind you right now, actually. I was going to say Alice, and I think it was because it was loosely inspired by Alice in Wonderland.
There's some name to it or something.
Cryon Conquest. Yep.
Thank you, Alex.
Yep. I think in Japan it's more blatantly Alice in Wonderland something.
There's some kind of name to it or something. What I meant to say was the name was complicated and not
and weird. Yeah.
It has a name. It has a name. Yeah, there we go. Everybody's jumping on the Cryon Conquest. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll take a look at it. I'm not going to promise that we're going to do it, but I will take a look.
Oh yeah, it's been no worries.
And we'll see. Goji's having a little sneeze.
Oh yeah, she's been sneezing all up a storm the past few days.
Yeah. She's off camera.
Got spring allergies.
And off mic.
That's my theory.
Actually, she's kind of close to that mic. It might have been. Yeah, it might have picked that up. I don't know.
Ugh, the sneezy sneezers. Yep. She's a hurful snurf.
It already
she's a bitch.
It already feels weird that it's only been. It's technically been less than, but it's only been 4 weeks since the marathon stream.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It feels like much longer and much. It feels like April flew by, but that also feels way more than 4 weeks ago. I don't know. It's weird.
Time
is
not
up.
Real.
Yeah.
None of it. Nobody basically is now attempting to bribe you. I like it.
Yeah, the Mega Let's Play fan games thing. is probably ultimately going to get folded into the post-game playlist in some confusing way, or
I like
I'm
how
going
you
to
explicitly say it's in a confusing way.
yeah,
Excellent. Just
'cause
admit it from the start. It's
we did a
okay.
few episodes of Mega Man 2.5D like 3-4 years ago, and we wound up just doing that because at the time it was like, oh, we'll do some fan games and things, and we just kind of never did. And then, as we were planning for the post game, it's like, all right, there's a couple of things that we would have liked to do that were more fan gamey that would be good to re-include in this, but
there are so many.
We'll see how it goes, I guess.
There's just so many fucking Mega Man games and Mega Man alikes that and trust me, I am actually a big fan of Homestar Runner personally. So like there is that Stinko Man connection. So like I'm a little high on it in terms of doing it, but at the same time, like, oh my god, we have so many games to do. Like,
like we'll see.
Don't count it out, but don't count it in. I mean,
it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
Especially since that game just came out. So, like, it's going to be very near the end of all of this if it happens. I would say it's not a high enough profile release for us to, like, jump on it immediately.
Well, technically, it came out, like, 6 years ago, and then they finally completed the game and finished the...
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's hilarious.
It was a like a reduced release without, like, I believe that they didn't even include the final level because it was like an early beta release, like on the website in Flash and stuff. But then they like redid the whole game, remastered it, added some like cinematics and stuff like that. I've saw the like release trailer for Stinko Man, but the re-release trailer, whatever you want to call it.
I was gonna say I do remember. It did sound familiar, and I could have sworn that I'd seen something about it a while back, like literally when we were starting the Mega Let's Play. So that makes sense. But yeah, there's plenty more to come in the Mega Let's Play. I guess we may as well jump in on stuff, right? I guess we can start with Mega Let's Play too. Namco Cross Capcom.
I'm doing great, Rick. How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay. That's fine.
How are you doing?
You know what? I really don't want to talk about it. So
I mean, you did just kind of talk about it. So
no, I just mentioned that I'm fine. That's it. That's fine. If
I think the word you said was great.
Be rude to me. That's fine.
Pretty sure you said great, and that's not nothing.
You dare tell me what I said?
Just saying, we can roll it back.
You have no video proof of this. Wait a minute.
That'll be the dream. One day, just having someone on the standby, just in a producer role, just prepping clips on the fly.
I know that in
them.
7 minutes,
go.
Rick is going to go back on whatever he just said, or Sarah's going to talk some bullshit, and I'm going to have that clip.
It'll be perfect.
Future. Maybe if editing Rick has a sweet little baby producer Rick or something.
It was like, what?
Only if he's able to self-replicate.
I probably can. I don't know.
Saying.
Oh, God.
Weird thing. All right, I've delayed us enough. Let's get into the actual discussions.
Well, I was going to hop in on for the Mega Let's Play. I normally don't start with the streaming side of things, but Namco Cross Capcom is almost done.
Yay!
I'm down to the last 3 battles, the last 3 episodes out of 50.
Ooh,
in this game.
Where did you go?
So maximum amount of time is going to be 3 weeks, but more than likely it's going to be a long stream next Tuesday. And then the Tuesday after that will hopefully be a slightly less horrifyingly long stream. My hope is like a 3.5 hour one for that, but we'll see. It's going to be the final battle, so I'm sure it's going to be nuts. But yeah, that's actually ending. I've only been at it for about 7 months, so so yeah, that'll be a nice relief. It's a fine enough game, but it's dragging a lot at this point, and I'm just kind of looking forward to being done with it. I'm excited to see how it ends. I am actually interested in what the ending is going to have for us.
It's one of those games that does this on an upward slope, and then in the back third, it just dies because you're like, holy fuck, end. And in the last, like, 2 to 6 hours, you're like, yeah!
Here's all the bad guys all converging at one thing at the very end of it all, and then...
It was like Brother Quest, not to continue talking about streaming things instead of, like, Let's Play stuff, but, like, that Divinity is long, and we've even, like, skipped a couple of things and not doubled back to get stuff done.
And that's over 100 hours at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it kind of died down at the beginning of Act 4, because we're like, we're here, stuff's going to happen, and then there were a trillion side quests, and we're like, oh, God, we have to do these, and then now it's kind of like... We're approaching the end. We're doing all like the character tie-off quests and stuff. And But yeah,
jeez,
it can
that's
drag.
nuts. The two Project Cross Zone games are also going to turn up, not immediately, but they are going to turn up.
Just keep bothering him once he's started Mega Man post game. It'll probably happen.
A post game has started.
No, I'm saying with the Stinko Man thing. I'm just
Oh.
It'll just be one of those when he's thinking about the next stream game, guys. When he asks you to vote on it, just wait for then.
I have extreme doubts that Stinko Man would last for an entire stream. Most Mega Man games and Mega Man-esque games tend not to be long
then
enough.
Then why the objections?
If you are
if it's only going to be one stream game.
It would be less than one stream game. It would be like a half-size stream game, and then
a night where you end the stream early and come to bed at a normal time. The horror. That'd be awful.
Sarah.
You'd hate that. I'd hate that.
Shut
no,
up,
Snuggles.
For a Homestar reference.
You got plenty of snuggles last night. You even said that you slept amazingly, so don't even.
Yes, because you showed up to the bed at the right time for Snuggles.
3-hour stream.
You should try that more often.
Anyway.
I wouldn't get to snuggle with her.
I'll probably have a
Am
small form thing coming for at least one, maybe 2 Tuesdays after that's done. I got to see what's on the docket. Like not what's on the docket. I got to see like what would be good to stream for that. There will probably be a Pikachu stream in there. Pokemon Yellow. I keep forgetting that it's like ambiguous right now. But
we're almost
Pokemon
done
Yellow.
with Birth by Sleep, actually.
What? Oh,
Sorry, we were just watching.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Pokemon Pikachu. I was like, you're right, and then I heard Birth by Sleep. And I'm like, what?
You're almost done with that one too, but like, just
Yeah, no, Pokemon Yellow will probably happen on a Tuesday coming up. But yeah, Birth by Sleep, I mean, a peek behind the curtain on that is we've completed the game and the final chapter. We just have the final episode. We're just unlocking the secret episode and checking out bonus boss at this point.
Yeah,
we have
so
beaten it.
basically done.
And we have approximately, I think we have 2.5, 3 weeks of videos for that in the can already. So odds are we're going to have like, starting with tomorrow, there's probably going to be like 8 or 9 videos, maybe 10 left altogether. So
we'll probably finish up playing it this weekend, but we'll see.
Yeah, the only thing that we might not finish for this weekend would be getting 10,000 unversed, but there's apparently some places you can go where you can literally get like dozens or hundreds at a time, so maybe it's a matter of like podcast episoding for one of them just to like get it done and then be done with the game. But yeah, that should be coming up. I uploaded this week's episodes on Wednesday, and boy, they are still processing the 4K versions of those.
Jesus Christ, baby.
It's crazy that it takes that long for 30-minute videos in 4K to process. Yeah. It is absurd.
If we had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm sure we get a little more server time.
Yeah, no kidding. Or an answer directly from YouTube as to why that's a whole thing. Because logically speaking, one would expect the video to take approximately 4 times as long as the HD version. Because it's 4 times the data, right? So
sort of. It's because it's all encoded and algorithmically done. So like each frame at 4K is actually a much bigger puzzle than a 1080p frame to encode. Once it's encoded, then it's like or compressed or whatever. Then it's an easier thing to deal with. But like,
most
I think
video
we completed
games
all the ice cream and other mini games. Like we had to kind of.
Oh no! Do they mean?
Or do you mean like making every ice cream recipe? Because absolutely fuck that shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, they're right. We complete ice cream minigames. Yeah, no, we spoiler. We did successfully make one ice cream.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was so fun. Just by happenstance.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say we're probably not going to do the ice cream and minigames stuff just because A, it's not required for this one, and B, like. Actually, that's kind of it. It's not required for the secret ending, and
it's
they're
bullshit
not
and
engaging.
not interesting.
The ice cream one would literally just be a matter of taking a checklist. Like, literally, it'd be like the Bloodstained final stream that I did, where it's like, I have a checklist of the ingredients I need.
And the locations they
them.
exist, and I go and I hope they show up.
So...
Okay, the ice cream was a video that's already up. Okay, it's not a spoiler. They know.
Yeah. Oh, was the ice cream in this video? Hilarious. Or in, like, last week one? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we did. I think the last video was us going to Disneytown, so that makes sense.
Yeah, we were poking around.
It's hard to keep track sometimes.
One thing that I think I saw Heydendo post about is Mega Man board game.
Oh yeah, that's on my radar.
So yes, it's on a radar, and
I mean,
also Dave, way out in Dave Land, has his like board game tavern D&D enclave.
Yes, his bitchin' table and his plans.
That
He already wants to stream from that shit.
That he's working on, and he's like, he and I and some friends who are good at lights and sound and things have been working out like unidirectional microphone setups, and like we were even talking about having each player on their turn. We're going to have like 8 lights around the table, so when it's your turn, there's a spotlight on you. Like, he really wants to do it up right. So if we're going to do...
high production value.
Yeah, if we're going to do like board game stuff, then it'll... Dave would like beat us all up, and he probably could if we didn't include him. So that's on the radar, like Rick said.
My contribution is I put money to the Kickstarter, so I have a singular Proto Man game piece. I think I also do have the board game downstairs. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
You do. You 100% do, hon.
It's edition 1 or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the original Kickstarter release.
I don't think it's ever been opened even.
It is not. It is definitely not. Scrolling up, I guess, a little bit. So Birth by Sleep, yeah, the post game for that is actually quite short.
The race courses also suck less. I don't mind doing the race mini game as much as the other stuff.
Yeah, this is just completion stuff.
Do you want to go? Do you want to do it?
I'm good. You can go again.
I'm just going to interrupt you, Rick. Keep
going. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. The post game for this is very short by pretty much all standards. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's functionally a handful of boss fights. There's no new levels. There's no new places to explore. It's just a handful of boss fights. The secret episode is unlocked. At this point, all we would have to do is get all of the. I mean, no, it is short. That's
I'm just giggling at Final Biscuit. It's so good.
Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure the post game we do in one episode.
Yeah, no, it like we're not even like in the realm of Battle Network or Star Force post games. Like,
no, aside from one, but that's Battle Network 1 was literally one episode of let's go fight base. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So in the same spirit, honestly, there are 2 super bosses that we're at least going to look at, and we're also going to look at the Mirage Arena a little bit more in depth, and then we'll probably have an episode of doing Unversed killing, and then our secret episode, which I think we just have to beat the final boss again.
Oh, you have to win the command boards in the arena? That's dumb.
Oh, I don't know that we're going to do all of... beat the best times on all the race courses to get the final arena
I'm just
bosses.
saying, I don't mind the races much. That's an okay minigame.
Seeing all the content is what we're looking to do. Completing the 100% journal, absolutely not. Like, it's
very much... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, well, from what I understand, that this game... the re-release at least is very kind in that it requires you to do a number of things to get to the post-game content and to get the secret episode, but you don't have to literally accomplish everything in the game.
No, unlike the original Kingdom Hearts releases and shit. Yes,
exactly.
The for this one, all you need to get to the final episode is have the complete Xehanort report.
All the reports, and there's only one report that's weird and bullshit.
Yep, we get to that one after we're done with Ventus's story.
All the other ones you pick up just by going through the story and collecting all the treasures and shit.
And one is just cryptically hidden somewhere you would literally never, ever, ever, ever
think to look.
Just
really
stumble upon, and it's also character specific, which is double dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is extra weird and strange, given that content isn't character specific.
Yeah, it's very odd. But to get the secret episode, what you need is all of the stickers, which we already did, and is pretty easy to just do.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
And kill 10,000 Unversed, which is frustrating because you don't have a way of knowing how many you've killed unless you beat the game. Like, unless you beat the final boss, at which point it tells you. It's very bad.
It's super annoying that there's no,
it's just why is there not a counter somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Why is there just not a counter that I can go check?
You can count up the individual Unversed and sum them up. That's the advice that has been given on many Reddit threads, where it's like, yup, it sucks, and they never fixed it, and it's dumb.
That's so stupid. Just put one total at the top.
They track literally every other statistic in the fucking journal except for that one that is
that actually matters, right?
Unlocking what you would like to unlock. It doesn't make sense. So we're so confused about it for a little while, being like, how is this not like visible? Where do we find this out? And then the internet was like, oh, you can't.
Yeah, and it's like, wow.
It's like, are you fucking
you had two
serious?
chances at this, and you fucked it up twice.
Yeah, you re-released this, you fuckers.
Ironically, it sounds like it was easier to do in the PSP version because apparently on the game save it would tell you once you
like on the save?
Yeah, once you're in the final episode, it'll actually tell you how many you've killed so that you can keep track or something.
Complete data.
But yeah, so that's as we beat the final episode, we had somewhere in the 4,000s, so we're a little under halfway there. So I got to see I need to read more into it, but apparently there's 2 places you can go where you can kill just a shitload of them very fast. We may have to craft Mega Flare to get there, but
Mega Flare, the cheat spell.
Yep. That's basically what it comes down to. It'll be very repetitive, but we'll see. If it's not fast enough for us to be able to do it in less than, say, 45 to 60 minutes, then that'll be an off-screen thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes after Birth by Sleep. Very interested in where the multitude of loose ends and loose threads go in the games that come after. We already have.
We're gonna make Jeff eat another salt popsicle. It's gonna be great.
Well, maybe it will be this time.
Amazingly,
I'm looking forward to it.
Starting with the final episode of Ventus's story, it seems like every episode we know less than we started. So that's fun.
I mean, that's what Kingdom Hearts does, and that's kind of what frustrates me so much with it. It's like, because the first game was like, oh, here's a story that makes sense, and then every game after that is like, ha, surprise, this thing, we're not going to tell you about it, though. Surprise, this thing, we're not going to tell you about it, though.
It's a problem for this one because this is the prequel. You're supposed to basically
You're
explain
supposed
everything.
to be answering my questions.
Like,
Sarah, have you never shared these thoughts before? What?
Yeah. But yeah, so our plan at this point is the next episode we record is probably going to be a Mirage Arena episode, just kind of busting through there as much as we can.
We'll dip into
Arenas.
it. If we finish it in an episode, then awesome. If we don't, then maybe fuck it, because who cares?
Yeah, it will satisfy killing Unversed for that purpose, but it's definitely not going to be as fast as the other stuff. If anything, it's more a matter of checking out, because there are some more interesting bosses that come down near the end of it. So, but in particular, the really interesting thing that I'm kind of curious about are those 2 super bosses, which if they utterly blow us apart, which is entirely possible, then maybe we go kill a bunch of Unversed to satisfy that requirement, then we come back.
I mean, if we do a shitload of arena stuff, we'll kill a bunch of Unversed
Also
anyway,
true.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
which is, nobody was pointing that out.
Yeah, and the most efficient way in terms of screen time and everyone's committed time to do some of this stuff is that if we get our faces blown apart by super bosses or arena stuff even, we can walk away, and Rick can, while editing, do editing, and then while it's doing something, just grind out 20 more levels.
That's what he does.
So
it would not be the first time I've even done it for Kingdom Hearts. So.
Yeah, exactly.
James Games!
Hi, JG2K.
Hello, welcome.
Also, somebody said earlier about how, we've already distracted Rick so much from talking about the schedule, and that's why it's called a Patreon Hangout.
Yeah.
Not a Patreon Robert's Rules meeting.
This literally happens every time that, at least I'm included in the Hangout. It happens every time.
Yeah, and I tend to be distractible too, so.
Yeah, it's just we don't really need to go in any particular order. Like, I have an order just of the way that, my notes are usually laid out.
Sure.
But, I don't really care if we go in order of that. It's just easier to kind of compartmentalize, I guess.
But that's probably enough BBS.
I think that's it for Kingdom Hearts. Swinging back over to Mega Man real quick. We started Mega Man Star Force 2.
Yay!
There we go. Oh, nope. Here I am. So, look at these hands coming out of my hand. That's how excited we are.
I'm Rick's hand.
Yay!
Look at me.
We're a trident of hands.
Head, and here's my hand torso. And don't look at my hand penis.
Oh, God.
So, I did this, and then I'm looking in the camera, and the shot's reversed, so I drop my right hand, and I'm like, wait, why is my hand still up? Anyway. Yeah, Star Force 2 has begun, and it's fun. We haven't even really gotten through the first, chapter yet.
The engine's only just started.
Yeah,
in Star
it really
Force
has.
2, it feels like.
There was a lot of... That game really front-loaded its new mechanics hard this time.
The problem with Star Force 2 is that it has the endemic problem of any sequel. Is that unless you're super confident about your fucking sequel and your player base, you have to reintroduce content. You have to retell stories. You have to.
It has to make sense for somebody who's playing it for the first time.
Notable champion level exception would be Banjo-Tooie, which did a marvelous job of just going like, okay, look, here's your stuff. There's where the plot is. If you haven't played it before, though, hang around here. We'll explain stuff.
Oh, my God. Banjo-Tooie does such a fucking phenomenal job. And one day we'll play those games on this channel.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the Star Force 2 starting segment has been like, I'm Zach, I'm a wiener. And then, like, introducing each character.
Zach, you're such a wiener.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and Omega's like, I love violence. It's like everybody do something stereotypical and demonstrative of your character. And then we'll get into a plot.
Hey, Luna, please explain every mechanic in this game over the course of 21 minutes.
Because I just fucking talk forever.
Holy
It's just like
shit.
in Banjo-Kazooie, you're like restricted to this one zone, right? And you like go into the, witch's head and stuff. And then in Banjo-Tooie, you start in that one zone and there's like all these, you can talk to like the past character and you can like learn all the moves. But like if you don't need to do any of that, you can just be like, bye bitches, I'm out. Like, it's great. I don't know.
I mean, that's why like, a lot of games, Civilization is possibly one of the best tutorializations I've ever seen in terms of a long-lived series, because in Civ 6, you have like 4 different options of like, hey, the game is like, yo, by the way,
have you played this?
Have you ever played Civilization at all before? And the options are like, never even once. I played like a little bit of the past ones. I played a good deal, or don't even fucking talk to me.
Top level
bitch,
is
I got this.
top level is just named like, I know to run away fast from Gandhi.
Yeah, if the advisor ever pops up, I will nuke the entire world, kind of thing. Like, it actually gives the opportunity to be like, yes, I had played this before. Tell me if anything is new, or like, don't tell me anything. But again, the problem is that with Star Force, we don't want to skip content. And we don't want to, and there are a few new things that we did learn. So
we did take a bit of a gamble on whether or not new things are going to get introduced anytime they were like, do you want me to tell you about blah? And it's like, probably just in case. Fuck, we spent 10 minutes doing a thing that we already knew.
I rewatched those episodes, and every time Luna's like, would you like me to give you a tutorial? We're both like,
fine.
I guess.
Yes. Yep. Or we're initially like, no.
Probably.
We probably should. And then 11 minutes later, I've blown out my voice speaking in Luna. I need a voice changer. If I could do Luna without having to elevate my voice at all, it would be a million times better.
It definitely has a pretty bad case of sequelitis to start this thing out, where like I think we both definitely felt in those first 4 episodes of like, wow, there's a lot of, well, I know you already know about this, kid, but you press Y to shoot, or like whatever, thing.
Oh, we're getting buffery choppies.
Oh, yep, we are.
Lovely.
Everybody said, we love you.
Damn it.
We'll be back.
Or we can just talk about us stuff for a little while.
That seems about the right time for that. No, I mean, it looks like we're back up.
Yeah, it's just chunking.
It's gross. While I'm here this weekend, especially for tomorrow night, I'm going to run a network traffic analyzer.
And just to see,
like, is it your router
My
not
uploads are
pinging
doing
back?
it too, so it's not just his computer.
Oh, I totally believe it's your,
because
like,
I've sometimes I do
ISP.
some streaming stuff for work. So when I'm doing I'll run OBS, right, and just stream out, and I'll also get like large chunks of frames dropping sometimes.
Yes. Oh no, it's
so I'm just saying, for a while I was blaming Rick's computer, not gonna lie, and now I'm no longer blaming Rick's computer.
I helped like rebuild part of the computer with Rick recently.
Yeah.
He just has such luck with this kind of shit that
sometimes like
I do need to buy a cooling system for this thing so I can get the new RAM in there, but
yes. Yeah. I mean, but thankfully the cooling system now is more than competent.
Yeah.
Because
we
have the big fan on, but your computer
it
would enjoy
some more
just
won't
RAM.
fit the RAMs with that.
This weekend, man, we'll go on Newegg. We'll have ourselves a little time.
Yeah, we can poke around and see.
Pick ourselves out our favorite Corsair all-in-one AIOWC.
I thought it was AIOU. It's been a long time since I've been in school, though. So
yes, all-in-one wash closet is what AIOWC stands for.
That sounds about right.
Tiny little bathroom for the computer, so when the CPU is full of peeps, it can unload them.
Big gross.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna work on figuring out if there's something specifically technical we can tell the ISP.
Yeah.
being like, yo, at exactly this time it like shutters for this long, or it's getting like no down but all up, or no up but all down.
So interestingly, last night I did Spider-Man, and in sum total across the entire night, what the fuck? There was I think there was about 20 seconds of stutteriness, like of stuttery frame drops over the entire night, but like the first, I think 16 seconds of that came within the first like 20 minutes. Like there was just like a couple little teeny blips here and there, and then there was one for like a couple seconds halfway through, but like that was it for the whole night, which is worlds better than every other stream I've done for the past month.
Yeah.
Where it's been like, well, time to lose the next 5 minutes because we're like up and down
the
and all
next
over this
5
thing.
minutes every other 5 minutes for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
I was watching that stream just kind of in mod lurk mode, and saw the one at the beginning, but then not after that, and I was like, wow, this is actually way more stable.
Yeah. So
Nobody basically accurate, but not just technology, everything. It's kind of crazy and impressive.
I'm the opposite of Rick, because people tell me horror stories about technology failing on them, and computer parts not working or failing or whatever, and they just fucking don't for me. I've literally never. I mean, I carefully build my computers, but like, shit just doesn't break for me. I have like a GeForce 5600 from like 12 years ago that still fucking works.
That's
in
still
a drawer.
running, still rumbling.
It just got outmoded. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know how. People like Beans all the time is like, my RAM is dying, and I'm like, no, it isn't. And I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it is, huh?
Jeff Hook, veterinarian.
I just give sweet tiny little kisses to all the electrons before they enter or leave the computer. And they're all
fast,
in a good mood.
Yeah.
Oh, you better see me on that Ethernet port right before I stream. I pull the thing out and plug that back. No tongue. No, just sweet kisses, Sarah. No turbo cunnilingus. Just sweet kisses for the electrons. And it works fine.
All right. Well,
Clearly,
we'll see
Rick
what we
is
can
not
do then.
molesting the router enough.
I'll try kissing some electrons while I'm here to see if it works.
I've totally lost my. Oh yeah,
we're
but yeah, Star Force 2. It does sort of feel like both. There's a lot of as you know, which is just lazy story writing, in my opinion. Like quiz them or something. Be like, all right, you think you know so much? Tell me how waving in works. And like, you walk over to Wave Hole and you hit R, and then you blah blah. Like at least play with it a bit. The whole like you remember that this is how it works. And like, yes, I do.
Yes,
you.
Thanks. Bye.
I thought it was kind of funny that like.
And hey, I don't molest the router. It works for me. It doesn't work for Rick.
You did just say that it wasn't working for you sometimes.
Just recently you say you have problems with that.
Only for uploads. Stuff breaks for him constantly.
I lost my train of thought.
Star Force 2 now with more wiener.
Yeah.
So much. I joked in Star Force 1 that Bud and Luna would talk for 15 minutes and Zach would be like, yeah.
Yeah,
and that was
right.
it. That was his whole
Star Force
line.
2 is going to invert it. Zach and Bud and Luna are going to have zero characterization, and Zach's going to be like, I'm the important one now.
Remember me, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Now? It's my game now.
Oh, God. 2 is also the one that generally is enjoyed the least out of the 3. So I don't know if these are all kind of, contained into one sort of meta thought about the game, but we're also literally 2 hours in. So
oh yes, now I remember my thought. In this one, they like try to do the tutorialization in Omega's character, where he's like, I don't trust that you remember, and stuff. But like, and initially that was okay, but then now it's getting like the mechanics they use to deliver the tutorials, where Luna trying to boss you around and explain everything, and Omega being like, I don't believe you could beat up a Met. And like, really?
We beat a space god 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's like we punched up like fucking everything.
He was a fist, and we still beat him to death.
A Star Carrier entrance license, like class or something that you have to take to have a Star Carrier or something. Because like obviously you can't.
Maybe they do that with 3.
Yeah, maybe Mega Man or rather, Geo and Omega can't talk to anybody else in the world except for maybe Sonya Strum about actual wave battles and the mechanics of the wave road, but like the Star Carrier stuff, just I don't know. There's probably an easier way to fit that into the plot.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's Star Force 2. We're gonna play some more this weekend. We're gonna keep that moving. Excited to get on with that. It'll be very weird when we come around to the end of that and it's time to do a review for Mega Man Star Force Tribe, the anime, because it's literally a third the size of the series that we just did.
Oh yeah.
It might actually be shorter than Mega Man NT Warrior Beast Plus, which was notoriously short.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a fun script to write. That'll probably also be a sort of all-encompassing sort of thing, but
it's a little less painful though, because cutting stuff out of the Star Force 1 anime review was like the toughest part.
Yeah.
Or like we could talk about every single episode in goofy shit. There's so many scenes that like Rick or I loved, but they were just kind of irrespective of the overall plot, and we didn't have time to focus in on like, here's this adorable thing that happened, and like the Ricky stuff you have to like focus in on. But there's like a bunch of episodes where there's more development or fun cute things or whatever. But
it's one of those seasons where I would have liked to talk at more length about the stuff that I found interesting or liked or didn't like, but I'm just like, this script is already 60 pages long.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to cut things
out
like, I need of this script.
Exactly.
Right? It's not compelling. It's not compelling enough to warrant a 3-hour video, even though it's stuff.
Despite the fact that he wants it to be a 3-hour video,
but it's just like, it's not interesting. Like, for comparison's sake, one of my favorite videos on YouTube is H Bomber Guy's "Sherlock is Garbage and Here's Why."
Yes.
It's a great video. It's 2.5 hours long, and it deserves to be 2.5 hours long.
Yep.
Like,
take the time you need.
It's so chock full of analysis of the show and Stephen Moffat and all of this stuff, and to the point where it's like, it's just a lot. There's stuff he even said that he cut out because he needed to like keep it more streamlined. But like, so I could like, a Star Force anime video would never warrant that length of analysis. I don't think.
I mean, that would be an episode by episode, shot by shot sort of thing.
Yep.
But like another 20 minutes just to wax philosophical about the things we liked.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna get
what if there was
3
actual
Tatsunoko videos
Yeah,
this month?
secret 4th episode. something. But yeah, no, Tatsunoko, yes, we're going to finish that off. Where it just kind of keeps falling by the wayside based on other stuff that we're just like doing at the time.
Largely due to my availability of coming out, and then time of stuff that like
other folks too
on with other people. Yeah.
Like CJ will show up, and then it's like, all right, we need to switch gears over to Thousand Arms and Resident Evil because CJ and Felice are here.
Yep.
Or all right, John's here, but he's here for a little while, so we're gonna do Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee.
Or Ben having the afternoon and I'm here. It's like, well, Rick and I are going to do
Sword
Tatsunoko.
time.
It's time for Pokemon Sword.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, actually, that's how it wound up happening. This last batch of 4 episodes of Pokemon Sword, I had the audio already running and recording for a Tatsunoko set of videos. And then Ben was like, oh, I got like an hour or so. And it's like, Pokemon Sword.
Like, had to change the file.
Yeah, I was literally like, unsave, delete, resave.
Yeah.
Just because, like, in terms of like the priority of stuff, Pokemon Sword is like right at the cusp of being done with post game to kind of drift into, once we're into Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra, like whatever speed works is fine. But we're in the post game and it's just like hanging there.
And the slight I won't say hiatus, but the slowdown of Pokemon Sword episodes lately has kind of given me the opportunity to like, I'm excited to see what they do in the DLC.
I'm very curious about it.
It's going to be a tighter story, maybe. It's going to be...
Whoa, you just freaked the camera out with that.
It did not like that. Do I have powers?
Electromancer?
Cut to that clip from the... Are you making that noise?
No.
Oh, okay.
So... I completely lost my train of thought because I just discovered my superpower.
DLC.
Yes. I am excited to go into the DLCs with, like, a less jaded attitude. Yeah. Like, it's not that I didn't like Pokemon Sword, as I've tried to explain in a bunch of episodes. I was just super disappointed by it, and I enjoyed parts of it.
Wasn't what you were expecting necessarily.
Well, no, I think we all just had kind of heightened expectations.
Yeah, it was
in the same way as, like,
expecting.
We've given these examples before. Mario Odyssey, Mega Man 11, Sonic Mania, like... Breath of the Wild, though that's like an exceptional case.
A little
I'd say
bit
Odyssey
different.
Also.
Yeah.
But like all
Odyssey
of these
was so good.
Oh, we had another buffer there. Oh, it's still buffering? Are we clear?
No,
we
buffer,
are
bug a buffer.
Still going. Oh boy.
Man, I want to talk about
down
Odyssey
to 0.
though.
No electrons.
Jeffrey, stop molesting all the electrons.
Give that a quick second here.
As you can see, I did not leave the couch and kiss the electrons on the way in and out of the computer, so...
Go smooch the computer some more. Smooch, smooch, smooch.
Oh, all right. I think we're slowly
Smooch them
coming back.
computers. Smoochity smoochers.
All right.
YouTube be loading.
I think
Definitely
we're
cause
back
interference
now.
by
Oh, it's a
potential
very
powers.
low bit rate, though.
Give us
the bit
Nope, and
rate
it stumbled
back.
and fell again. Well, I guess this is recording locally, so maybe we just upload that one later or something.
Yeah, if it's gonna have a bunch of buffers and stutters in it,
Yeah.
then shit time.
So the point that I was getting, I'm literally watching the bit rate, and it's like 16 kilobytes a second. And like, oh, good.
That's not even enough to stream an MP3.
Yeah. Wow. It's
You
it's
probably
really
look
just
so
crashing
disappointed
there.
in the frame that it froze on because it froze.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
It's like struggling to get past 100 kilobytes a second right now. That's we're at 166.
I bet some network infrastructure just shut down and reset, and now
Probably
it's
it's
reaccepting
rebooting.
everybody's connections,
Yeah.
and it's like
It does
Thinking
look like
so
it's really
hard,
trying.
Thinking
Oh,
so hard. Thinking so
Here we go.
hard.
I think we're back now. It looks like we may be back. At the very least, we're actually sending megabits instead of kilobits, so that's
Yeah.
good. Oh yeah, there we go.
that's
Hey.
enough for video.
Whoa, that just jumped to 26 megabits. That's not a real number for
That's
what we're
too
doing.
many.
That's too many of those.
Maybe it's trying to.
We're streaming
re-upload
all
live
the
frames.
bits now.
It's,
Blah.
it's just like, oh, push them all.
Is
Push
this
them all in there.
4D? Can you smell us?
Final
Oh,
Biscuit asks,
God.
is this what Rick streams have been like for the last month? This is terrible. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I've
Yes,
actually
Final
gotten in the habit
Biscuit.
now
It's sad.
of recording you're probably not even seeing this in real time right now. I have gotten in the habit of recording my stream simultaneously
Locally, yes.
locally, and then just uploading that because
'Cause
that's
it's
been
been
more
so
reliable
bad.
and roughly equally as clean of a video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you have to spend 4 hours downloading different clips off of fucking Twitch,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is how it works otherwise, unfortunately. We love you
Ooh, we're
all
getting
and we'll
glitchy
be
shit in
back
there.
someday.
What a weird fucking.
Oh boy,
What is that?
That is apparently
Error,
what it looks
YouTube
like
stream
right
is
now.
going herbly herb herb
Yeah.
derb.
Oh, that's
I'm-
the algorithm that
Great
compresses the
pixelated
video.
screen.
Yeah, you gotta kiss it, Jeff, kiss it.
Jeffrey is molesting everything.
The trick is if you make enough motion. Ironically, I think that
Arm
is actually a way that you can reset
Arm
corruptions like
wavings.
these.
We're being attacked by.
We got more. Look at it.
The funny part is when this goes up on YouTube later, this is not going to have any of these because we're recording it locally.
Yeah.
So this
Which
is,
is
gonna look
why
like
we're
just
doing
fucking
that.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna be really curious to see what it looks like,
Yeah.
like on the YouTube live playback thing.
Apologies
Is it
that you can't see our pretty faces right now. That's.
The sound is perfect, they say. So
But yeah, right now XSplit
That
thinks
works.
that we're transmitting at 24 megabits a second, which is a lie.
it's it's
Doing
probably
it.
trying to jam in all the frames that we
that it
lost during
yeah,
the
probably.
last bunch of
well,
minutes.
if you guys can hear us, then we're going to continue for this for
yeah.
now.
yeah,
Call
let
it
me,
good,
let me
right?
finish my thought. I think I saw
DLC.
somebody said something about being less jaded.
less jaded, yes.
Yeah. So the point that we made and went on to elaborate about a little bit is that like I had really, really high hopes for Pokemon. It was my re-entry into the series since being out of it for so long, and I liked moments of it. I liked elements of it, but like, oh, I see an
We dropped again.
Oh,
Yeah.
buffering.
God damn.
No.
Keep on going. This is folks
Okay.
might just have to watch this in VOD.
All right, then for people in VOD land, my point should be quick to make. I'm really excited for the DLC now. I think there's been enough of like a break from Pokemon Sword with our like kind of sporadic episodes,
Yeah.
such that like I'm excited to see what the DLC is. My expectations have been
Yeah.
like readjusted, and now if the DLC is better than the original game, I'm going to be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm
Like,
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's a combination of it's reset, like it's sort of a reset because it really is. It's an opportunity both for two reasons. One, it's like, all right, our expectations were apparently way too high, and we've kind of readjusted those. It's lower because that's just kind of, but also like not like, well, this is going to suck. It's more just like, okay, let's curb those expectations slightly.
Yeah.
But also, conversely, this is Game Freak's opportunity to, separate from the game, make an experience that is closer to what people might have been wanting or like what they were advertising or something. So it's like it's a combination of bring down the expectations, like make it more reasonable, but also like this is your second chance. Please don't burn this. Like,
yeah, it's the opportunity to do a tighter, smaller story. It's a 45-minute mini movie versus a 2.5-hour feature kind of thing, where like you don't gotta do as much and you don't have to set everything up. Like just do a new story, do something cool, and we'll see.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Crown Tundra as well. I don't know anything about any sort of story with Crown Tundra. The only thing I know about Crown Tundra is that there's a shitload of legendaries that you can catch there.
Yeah, I have like very intentionally not engaged like any of the plot or any like reviews even of the Crown Tundra stuff.
Yeah. So. I am going to try one thing real quick because I am curious if maybe this might just jostle things a little bit. So hang on one second. Let's go to the pause screen for a sec because maybe, and of course that's when it starts dropping frames. Hilarious, because I was like, let's go to the pause screen for a second because maybe if it's like a still image,
it'll figure its shit out.
It'll like go, oh, okay.
I don't have to transfer as many bits to recover the frames.
Yeah, and ironically, as we do this, the bit rate just drops entirely out of the sky.
Yeah,
and it is mostly just crashed now, so that's good. I'll leave it here for a second. We're still audible while we're doing this, but
yes, hopefully everybody can still hear us.
Yeah. But yeah, so I know that Isle of Armor has a plot line. I don't know what Crown Tundra has. Apparently it has stuff where you can do like 2-player stuff. So if that's the case, in the meantime, while you guys are doing Isle of Armor, I might finish out my Shield game so that if there is stuff that's like, oh, bring a companion to whatever, and it's like, yeah, sure, I'll throw my character in there to help.
Somebody to come along.
Yeah. I think there are some legendaries that you can only do as 2-player too, or something along those lines. So like if that's the case, then cool, I guess I can be useful for that.
Right.
Are we sending anything? It still is dropping all of the frames.
I mean, Elsprit kind of responded, it looks like, to the DLCs.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just Shattuck Mountain.
Like, our drop frames are incrementing at this point and not, anything else. So I don't know if we're actually, It's actually wild that on a paused screen, it's more broken than when we had real video going. So that's a good sign. But yeah, so I guess continuing, what was I going to say?
Pokemon Crown Tundra and...
Yeah, so that should be interesting. And again, we can take it... It's almost kind of like a new game in the sense of, like, the pace we go at doesn't need to be nearly as, like, forced that it's kind of been with Sword, where it's like, we're so close to the end, we just should keep pushing through. Same thing with Pikachu and Eevee. We're down to the end for that, so we're going to... We're gonna be. So we haven't recorded the final face-off yet. So we're gonna be doing that this weekend. I think tomorrow actually, and then the winner of that is going to be doing the post game of Pokemon Let's Go, which is longer than it is for like the games that it's built from. Oh, now we have an excellent connection.
Excellent connection.
According to YouTube. Although ironically, the video still looks busted as fuck, even though we're literally on the pause
it does.
screen. That's interesting.
Does.
Huh. Very interesting. It's weird to me that that's that broken. Like, I'm worried that if I've tried this before where, like, if I try to mess with the stream, take it down, take it up, and continue as the YouTube stream, it just kills the stream and starts a new URL.
Yes, that's the one big problem with us having to, like, bounce back and forth.
Right, I'm gonna come
the
back
new
to
video
this
is
and let's
bleeding.
see what happens. Let's see how exploded this view looks in the glitchy version of it. Once we've changed there, we did drop.
I'm gonna wave my arm back and forth.
And of course, doing that meant we dropped all the frames. Yeah, there's something just wrong with our network, I think.
I mean,
so
we
we'll
can
have to fix
bitch
that
at
later.
RCN. We pay like $130 a month.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, there's motion. There's motion.
I wiggled my arm.
Ah, that would do it. Yeah.
I did this.
It looks like a laser light show right now.
It really does.
So fascinated with the video.
Yeah. It literally looks like you could trick someone into thinking that we had like a loose HDMI cable or something
right?
based off of this. Even though that has nothing to do with how any of this is set up. So that's cool. But yeah, Pokemon, Pikachu, and Eevee, that's coming down to an end.
Almost done.
And we're going to have post-game there. It's pretty short. it's longer than the games that it's based off of, but it's not as long as I don't know. Pokemon post games have all been fairly short lately. It'll be shorter than Sword and Shield's post game. I have a list of stuff that we can do in the post game there. It's a lot more than just go to Cerulean Cave and fight and catch Mewtwo. So stuff to do there. So there's that. Thousand Arms continues. We didn't have any this week, but we'll have some next week.
Yes.
We have apparently reached the point where the game just cracks wide open. Whoa! Did it totally crash our... Oh, no. For some reason...
It scrolled over.
My screen scrolled over for no reason, and it made it look like it just crashed altogether.
It was because of the suggestion that popped up underneath it.
Yeah. But yeah, Thousand Arms, we've reached the point where the game just kind of cracks wide open, and it's like, oh, hey, where would you like to go? Here's everywhere. So that's been interesting.
Yes.
Age of Calamity appears to be coming down to the end. We have another week's worth of videos, and then some, actually, that were recorded along with the ones that went up this week. We appear to be getting close to the end, I guess. It's kind of hard to tell. And also, not all the videos have gone up, so we can't like openly talk about the things that have happened without spoiling plotline stuff. But it seems like we're approaching the end there. So that's good. Let's see. Where's my list again? Oh, yeah, I started talking about Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Yeah, we kind of we're basically halfway through as much as we're playing with that game, but it's always been so far in the back burner that it just kind of never got priority. And it would take less than 2 hours to finish this game out, I believe. And it's just a matter of just doing it. So hopefully we'll be able to do it this weekend. We will see. Sonico 6, we didn't mean to put on such a break, but again, really high priority stuff, which Sonico 6 is pretty high priority for us. It actually performs very, very well. I think it's the best performing thing on the channel right now, outside of maybe Star Force 2.
Star Force 2.
The two of them are pretty neck and neck.
Star Force 2, at least the opening was pretty popular.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, Sonico 6
for obvious reasons
should hopefully be coming back this week. We're in the midst of Shadows campaign.
We're talking about clearing a lot Final Biscuit. It's insane.
Yeah,
real.
We actually have the opportunity to potentially clear upwards of 6 or 7 separate games just this weekend. Everything.
Oh yeah.
The stars have just aligned in a big way. So we'll kind of see
exciting.
how that goes.
It might be a double nighter here for me.
Yeah. Smash for Wii
you
U.
have to
That's
stay
coming
forever,
down.
Jeff.
That's coming down to the line as well.
Oh, I like my
We don't have a
house.
ton left that we're doing there. Not a lot to say about it. It is a Smash game where we're kind of just clearing unlockable things, so we just kind of have a few things left to go.
Yep.
We did Pokemon Sword, did Pokemon Pikachu EV. Oh, Umbrella Chronicles. Boy, something has gone amiss with how that game works.
Umbrella Chronicles?
Yes. To unlock one of the last stages that we have to unlock, it's why does it keep doing that? Get an A rank on this specific stage.
Because error, YouTube is not receiving a stream?
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
YouTube is not receiving enough video.
No, enough video to
streaming.
maintain smooth streaming.
Yeah.
As
such, go fuck
on.
yourself.
Yeah.
As such, eat shit.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
But yeah, Umbrella Chronicles it's to unlock this stage, get an A rank on this specific level. And then we did, and it didn't unlock it. So...
What? Boo.
Yeah, it's a little confusing if they
Yeah.
meant you have to get an A rank on the level overall, or an individual has to get an A rank themselves, or
apparently they have
something.
no idea what we're saying at this point, and everybody's just going to
yeah,
watch
for
the,
sure.
the
Yeah,
video.
this is a secret.
Yeah, this has been
It's
up
just
and down.
sad because I enjoy the interaction with chat.
For
It's
everybody-
my
That's what
fun.
every stream's been like for me for the
I
last 4
know,
weeks.
baby.
It's been bad.
For anybody watching this on YouTube, the VOD after the fact, an extra special sweet kiss for you for watching
love
the
you
parts
all.
you missed on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Not you missed.
The funny
parts
part
that
is,
internet
hey,
fucked.
VOD watchers, love you, don't give up hope, is they're not going to see any of these
Yeah,
problems.
the VOD watchers, they don't have any hope
Yeah,
to get
they
up.
won't see any. If anything, they'll see us staring at this computer and going, huh.
Oh, they'll be
uh-oh.
able to tell that stuff's not going properly by our faces.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we're down to the last few
Weird angry
stages there. It's just a matter of figuring out what the actual. This is a Sonic Pinball Party scenario where it's the internet was
Don't
wrong
say those
about
words.
this.
Jeffrey
thing.
has a reaction to that.
I know he does.
I've actually blocked it out. I legit just stopped listening to Rick for a second.
But yeah, so at this point, it's just a matter of We figure out what the actual unlock for it is, and then we finish the game just in time for Resident Evil Village, which I'm super fucking pumped for.
Yeah.
That's going to be a real damn good time. I can't wait to poop my pants surrounded by my friends.
It's going to be so good for you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's so spooked out by spooky video games. I'm not.
We had some green in the corner for a second there. That's fun. Oh, like a green smudge.
I love green.
No, the chat shows up as playback on the side,
Yeah.
Alex because it's a YouTube live recordy
Yeah,
thing.
when
It's
they-
just not part of like our recording exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, when we did the Maiden demo, even then it was like the hilarious part about the Maiden demo. I realized after the fact, it's like if they're not even going to give us a gun, there's zero chance they're going to like turn up any zombies until the absolute last moment, which is exactly what happens. You get confronted at the end, and it's a matter of escaping, not like killing anything.
Yes, which they kind of went away from that survival element of survival horror in the Resident Evil series for a while in the middle.
Became very action oriented
Yes.
around
Except
4 or
Gola.
5.
If you were super good at shooties, then you could just do shooties in a good way and still have enough ammo and enough supplies and whatnot to like get through most everything. But
Yeah.
I do like that they're kind of leaning back towards like those zombies don't see you. You don't have to shoot them, or like there's 6 of them. You should run.
Yeah.
Like don't even spend 1 second aiming. Just run.
It's really great seeing the evolution of the series into 7 over time. I'm very interested to see how it goes in 4, 5, 6 because like everything up through 3 and Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0 and those like the 1998 the games that all take place in 98 are very interesting to me in that you can be surrounded by zombies, but you're like, oh, they're approaching slowly. Shit, bang, bang, duck around this, as opposed to
Yeah,
Resident Evil
dodge,
7
run, move.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 is like,
Yep.
if you see a molded show up, you got to get the fuck out of there. Like, if you're not
Dude, I
prepared
still
to take
remember
it
the
down.
time you woke up in the middle of the night, turned to me, went, "Run! The molded are coming!"
Yeah.
and then passed the fuck back out. Just like, what?
Yep. Did
What?
you run?
Terrifying.
Did you run or no?
No, I
You
didn't.
get a game over then. What the hell?
Seemed to be no worse for the wear though. I guess it was a nice molded.
It was just such a like, what? Really?
Poor
Oh, man.
electrons. I tried to kiss a bunch of them on the way in, but I even gave kisses in a moment you guys didn't see.
There have been many sweet
During the
kisses to these
actual stream.
electrons.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Village. I'm very intrigued by the story of it because it seems like they're starting to like pull a bunch of disparate threads together, which is cool. I thought I had heard a rumor that Leon was going to turn up maybe in the game, but there's also going to be a Resident Evil 4. Oh my god, there's going to be a Resident Evil 4 sequel animated series on Netflix, which is cool, like 3D animated, which I think is neat. But they're also re-releasing Resident Evil 4 as a VR game, but exclusively on the Oculus Quest 2. You know, the one that is Facebook attached and is very gross for that. I don't know if we're going to do that because, one, gross, just Oculus in general and Facebook and handling of all that. But
Dude,
also, I'm not really interested in spending that much money for one game.
So here's a fun story. I was reading this today. Oculus 2 sells for $300, right?
Yeah.
To businesses, it sells for an extra $500, and they don't do any data tracking. You can get a private version of an Oculus for $800.
Jesus Christ.
It's not connected to Facebook and Facebook account.
Great.
Speaking of, a friend of ours recently lost their Facebook account. They've been trying to go through all of these reactivation, recover, and the flow is just broken, right? Facebook just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what they've heard is apparently the best way to do it? Buy an Oculus and complain to
for
Facebook support, because
fuck's
then you
sake.
actually get a real person because they want you to be able to go buy games. So
Jesus.
our friend is contemplating it. And apparently a bunch of people buy one and then return it after they get their account
Oh,
back.
hilarious. Oh, if that's possible, then yeah, fuck
So,
it.
yeah. So I was like, you should just do that. Fuck
Yep.
it.
That's fair enough. But yeah, so Resident Evil 4, I don't know that we're going to do the VR one. If CJ wants to spend that kind of money on the Oculus Quest, then he's more than welcome to, but I'm not doing it.
You've spent more than $300 on ridiculous game
Not
peripheral
on one
thingies
game.
before.
Not on one game. Nope. So far I've spent $300 on one game, and I've spent like almost $300 on another, but I've never spent more than $300 on one game.
Yo, I'm watching the like actual YouTube video feed on my tablet.
Yeah,
I mean, it matches up with that pretty solidly.
Yes,
so.
but it's I feel like we're actually creating accidental art here.
Yeah, there's some pretty shit going on.
I couldn't have done this in Photoshop with effort.
Chat.
What?
The chat.
Oh yes, yeah. It's here.
I love them though.
Bunch of pink on screen.
Yeah. The $500 one was that's true. The $500 one,
See?
I was actually I was
That
misremembering
counts.
how much I spent
It
on
is
that.
a collectible.
And also, it is not even for the sake of collectible, but like that is functionally unique. And I really need to actually get back in touch with the people who are going to like carefully disassemble
and copy it. Yeah.
not even copy. What's the hell is the word? Preserve.
Dump.
There's like a preservation attempt going on for it, so that we can actually like have this be a thing that people. Nothing bothers me more. I would rather have bought that for $500, give it to someone to disassemble it, and like copy all the data and preserve, and then there's an effort to remake a lot of these in like Flash and Flash adjacent stuff, and
Java.
essentially have the value of that watch drop to basically nothing, for the purpose of people being able to actually like see it and enjoy it for the first time in like 30 years. Like that means more to me than just like, oh, I got this watch I'm never gonna wear. Sweet.
Yep.
But yes, let's continue on. I feel like we're going to keep this whole thing on the shorter side from here just because it just doesn't seem to want to come back.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would be a 10 or 15 minute sputter.
Yeah, this has been like 30, 40 minutes now.
Yeah, sometimes it's brief and other times it's just like, please go fuck yourself.
Interminable.
Final Fantasy VII will come back someday, but John literally is messaging me right now to tell me that maybe he can't do tomorrow for the Pokemon Face-Off because his
sucks?
mom... Well, no, because his mom... They were doing stuff with his mom, and his mom's like, no, you need to stay for longer kind of thing.
Oh
that
my
sort of
God,
deal.
really?
Mom demands.
But
I know them well.
Man, here I was being all like, yeah, go have fun hanging out with Granny. And it's not even...
Nope. But yeah, so Final Fantasy VII is one that we're going to do whenever we have a bunch of people together and we're not desperately trying to get another like thing done.
It's a good group game because I'll be fucked if there isn't 9 million other playthroughs of Final Fantasy VII on YouTube.
It's not something we're in a rush
more
to...
for the couch chill experience
Hangout
than it is
and
for like our unique gameplay.
Exactly, yeah. We talked about Star Force, talked about Kingdom Hearts. I think that's all of those.
Anybody
we'll do Twitch,
who's
I
watching
guess.
this VOD after the fact and was not able to hear it, you can go to the Discord, and in our Discord I'll give you one sweet kiss as a redemption for your poor Patreon Hangout experience.
Yeah.
Limit 1 per customer. Some rules and restrictions may apply.
Let's do Twitch stuff. Multiplayer. Sundays. How's that going?
Oh, super fun.
Cool. Move it. No.
Oh, goddamn. No, it's been good. Barotrauma keeps updating before we finish the campaign and change the campaign. And we ran into
just rolling updates every week.
We ran into a really fun thing where they introduce like kind of boss monsters in between like particular points of interest. And they're supposed to exist from the beginning, and they're supposed to incentivize you to attack them to free up like colonies and stuff so they can expand and improve, and like because you have to actually expand civilization from the left half of the map to the right half.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to go back 30 million years just to get more fuel and stuff like that.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's not so good.
Which we've been doing that very, easily as we've gone along. And the old way used to be taking out breeding grounds, which lets stuff expand. And we have a super dense civilization on Europa. The problem being is that the campaign update that just came out added these in-between colony boss monsters. And it did it across the whole map in a way that almost would have been impossible for us to have gotten to where we are without having taken them out.
Okay.
So then all of that civilization
So
that
now it's
we
all
did
behind you
that's-
now.
it's all decimating the population behind us. Whereas we would have taken them out one by one and been like, all right, next one's a boss monster, then we refuel here, do one mission, let the thing grow, buy more supplies, move on. Now there's just 1,000 boss monsters behind us. and all around us when we loaded up the campaign save last weekend. It was touch and go, but we still live, and I think that we were able to save the area that we're in right now. So the campaign isn't lost, but boy, oh boy, it's got more complicated as they've updated it.
Jesus, yeah, that sounds pretty fucking terrifying.
Yep, but other than that, Multiplayer Sundays has been lots of fun.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Probably going to be doing Bear Trauma again this coming week because we really want to finish it. Like, we just want to get the campaign finished, and then we can do other games, and even maybe drop back into Bear Trauma on like hard mode or something in the future if we want to. But ultimately, you know, we do want to go back to Valheim at least for a little while because it was fun to do a multiplayer Sunday game with you and CJ specifically. Like,
yeah,
you know,
we
don't get CJ in a streaming environment outside of that until he starts.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It suddenly just snapped back like it was always there.
Yes, and now we have full video.
But I can't read the chat still. There we go.
So I was just stunned because I'm just like kind of looking down at it like, I'll just kind of watch the nice art while Jeff is talking, and then suddenly my face, I'm like, holy shit.
There wasn't much.
I would love to know what suddenly made it decide, oh, we're good now. As we're
Yay, we love you all. We're here. Look at the arms.
The network devices all finished resetting outside of your
oh my god
house.
It finished
It's definitely a little bit behind, though. That's interesting.
Oh, that's how that works. Because this is how other people are going to be seeing it, like time-wise.
Okay, I guess that's fair. I guess I'm just not used to seeing the.
Yeah, like this up, like on our screen, we have a preview of this, and that's basically live. Like it's behind by, I think, 1/6 of a second.
Not even enough to really be noticeable unless you're doing video game things.
Yeah, it seems like the latency to YouTube is around 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, enough like that you can be like, wait.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. How about...
hello again, friendos.
On Mondays, I have not had a chance to watch Dave's streams, but he's in the midst of It Takes Two with Jenny. And I've heard really, really good things about that game.
Oh, sorry. I was distracted momentarily. You were talking about Dave and Jenny playing It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so fun and cute. They're both so fucking cute.
Mm-hmm. If only Rick liked playing video games with me.
Dave's such a big... Shut up, Sarah.
If only Sarah liked streaming.
Eat shit,
I have no problem with streaming.
You want to update us on Friday XCOM 2 then?
I lost my
That's different.
Oh, okay.
It's not different for me. I want to play if you're not gonna. But I won't until you do. It Takes Two is super cute, and Dave's such a big fucking grumpus whenever he talks to me, but with Jenny, he's a sweet, lovable teddy bear, so I don't know where that comes from.
It's called the person you want to do smooching with, Jeffrey.
I guess. But It Takes Two is also a very fun game. I've been like watching some of their streams and lurking in other portions of it because I actually want to play it as well. I think it's a very enjoyable game. And I think one of the best things about it is that it actually captures a very difficult mechanic, which is like varying levels of video game platformer experience.
Okay.
Like if you have somebody who is a pro-ass platformer, and Dave's not a pro-ass platformer, but he's good with a controller.
Yeah.
And Jenny is somebody who does not play platforming games usually, but is like, capable at doing platforming. There's sections where you can have one person do a really difficult section and then the other one just like time out button presses to assist them or something like that.
Some asymmetric gameplay with that.
Yes. And then there's moments where you both have to do the thing. So one can go first and then the second one. And
it's a little like Caravan, I guess, in that regard, where it's like there are points where you're going to go and do the section and you're not. So Caravan is a game where you play as two characters who are dragging a caravan containing the king. It is the king. I'm not 100% clear on what that was. I forget at this point, but there's points where there's challenge sections and they're marked off a certain way, and sometimes you're both just going through a thing together, and other times it's like, all right, I'm going to go this way, but you have to hang on and just kind of dangle underneath until we get to this top thing, and you got to swing around. And
yeah, some of that. There's, a moment where one player goes up to this area off to the side where you can see what the other player's doing, but you have to hit the buttons to flip the platform the right way as soon as they're in the air in between them.
Yeah.
So like there's timing stuff, and yeah, it's really neat. It seems like a really fun and accessible game for like two people to play. And
all right, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're still doing that. So that'll be a thing this coming week at the very least. Tuesday, we already talked about Namco Cross Capcom. That's down to probably 2 more streams, and most likely I'm going to do Pokemon Yellow for at least a stream after that, and then we're gonna see where things are following that. So we got a little bit of time from there.
Also, I just can't read Kobera since it came back from the break.
Oh,
So we're just talking amongst ourselves.
I moved my mic away. I tried. I made an attempt.
it picks up more than.
Is this distracting for you?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
can we? All right, I can
we'll do
stop.
A
this
little
later.
bit, and probably still fairly audible in the background.
Well, it's not like we're talking
I
about.
mean, I'm just talking
Webtoons.
I can talk webtoons on mic if people want.
We
I have
got
so many webtoons. Read webtoons with
God.
me.
We got enough
I love
stuff
you.
to
You
talk
did get called out a little bit in the chat there. I'm
No,
sure you
I see
saw.
that. Trust me, I want to play all these games. My biggest problem is I don't want to stream once a week, and there's not any other space to stream in. So,
You want to stream twice a week?
Expert's
or-
talking about how we were going to do the Portal 2 co-op thing together, which
Oh,
is
were
basically
we?
one stream. Yeah, and you said you didn't want to until you played Portal 2, which you were planning on doing.
did I say that?
Yes.
When was that?
A couple months ago
You should
now.
remind me about this then.
I did, once or twice.
Doesn't sound like you did.
I definitely did. Let's see. Wednesday, Divinity. I mean, you kind of mentioned earlier that you're in Act 4, but there's like a bunch of side quests that got dropped on your head.
Yeah, there were a bunch of intro stuff in Act 4 that we did that are just unique to Act 4 side quests, but now we're starting to get into all the side quests we've been tracking since the beginning of the game,
Nice.
tying up all these things and stuff. So we're not far away from the actual end of Brother Quest. And if we even have a moment where we're like, oh boy, we're about to go into the last area, because the game has actually said on a couple of occasions hey, if you get on this boat, you ain't fucking coming back. And we're okay, good to know.
Ye oldie screen prompt, remember to save before you leave for reasons.
Yeah. And we've gotten a couple of those lately in segments. So if we get to a point where we're like, oh, we're almost at the end of the stream, but we're gonna go into the finale. If we don't stop, then we'll stop and do a fresh stream and tell everybody it's gonna be the finale closing segment.
Nice.
And I already know what I'm doing on Wednesdays after Brother Quest.
Ooh.
Should I?
Sister Quest.
It's gonna take us less than a month to finish it. Do I announce it tonight?
It's up to you. It's your call.
I'll think about it. Let's go into the other streamy things, and I'll think about it.
The only other streamy thing is Thursday, which is Spider-Man, which has been a lot of fun.
Get rid of Spider-Man Juggo.
Gotta get them juggos.
Spider-Man.
I appear to be a little over a third of the way through the game overall, and I guess I'm still uncovering collectibles, so it's harder to tell how far along I am with that. But
I have my
so far.
opinion on
I
I think he's still in the first third of the game, at least story-wise.
first
anyway.
act of the game.
First act
Yeah.
of the game, yes.
Yeah. I was just going off the campaign amount was like 36%.
Yeah, but I think they also
left.
don't necessarily expect you to go out and nab every backpack immediately, right?
No.
Which
Well, I think the campaign progress is presumably off of percentage.
Oh, it's off of
story
all of it.
missions.
No, it's off of all of it. It's
Is
off
it?
of backpacks and yes,
Oh, okay.
because it doesn't go to 100% till you have 100% at everything.
Oh, weird. Okay. I was
So-
under the impression that was story progress, not.
It's everything progress,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
why you can throw it off a little bit by doing a bunch of the other side shit.
Yeah.
Yes, collect the pigeons, Rick.
Yeah, collecting the pigeons. We just unlocked at the end of the last
So,
one.
I
Black Cat and
technically
pigeons.
spoiled that by a few hours for you.
But yeah, so that's a thing. I've still got another 4 or 5, things that I can find. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than, man, there's a lot to remember.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
And you wonder why I struggle when I switch from Spider-Man to Birth by Sleep. And I'm like, oh God, everything's so different.
The last game I played with that intricate a move system was Enter the Matrix, a game I did not like.
See, I don't know. I think Spider-Man's done it really well. I do agree they throw a lot at you early on, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they do it well. I
Alright.
think they do a good job with it, personally. Honestly, if anything, it reminds me most of Prince of Persia stuff.
Mhm.
Probably the second Prince of Persia game, where they really let you get inventive with your fighting combo style stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'll go back and play those again sometime. I never played the first. I never played Sands of Time, but I played.
I don't understand that at all.
I just didn't. I think I got the second one.
Oh, the
yes.
story's so sad, and then you get to the end and the ending song. Sorry, I have feels about that.
I mean, really,
Clearly.
I played the first part. I played the entirety of the third game, but the first chapter seems to be like, let's take the first game and just put it on fast forward for about 20 minutes. And cool, we're through what would have ultimately been kind of the plot of the first game.
Most of it, yeah, more or less-ish.
And now here's the bad ending, and you're stuck here. Time to go.
Yeah, you fucked everything by still being alive. Congratulations.
Yeah. It's like, congratulations, the bad guy won, and you didn't run, so now everything's much worse. And, so-and-so is not in a good place.
I also, as much as I enjoy those games, I've got to give them a little shit for... So in Game 2... there's a special secret ending that you can get if you go to a lot of extra work and do all the things, and that's the fucking canon ending that goes into Game 3.
Canon ending, and
it's like, guys,
which means unless you specifically, and it's missable items.
Yes, it's missable items, and you can fuck it up, and
you need to. I mean, my recollection is you need to forge the water sword.
Yes, you need to forge the water sword to defeat the Sand of Time monster for real, basically.
The Dahaka is a monster that seeks to correct the timeline that you very fucked up.
Well, it's your existence that's messing it up because you remember the previous timeline. You going away would make everything be fine.
But
it's just that then you'd be dead.
Yeah.
So
the Dahaka is now hunting you down because you shouldn't be. And then you go back and you make a time paradox to escape the Dahaka.
Yeah.
So then it's really mad at you. It's like, yo, bitch, stop. You
make a lot of time paradoxes to escape
definite
the Dahaka.
Spoiler. Well, I mean, the one in particular, it's a very critical moment of like, so you're walking around in, I mean, this is a spoiler for the game, but it's a 15-year-old game at this point, so whatever. But you're walking around at one point, and there's this wraith that keeps following you.
Oh, yeah.
And you keep kind of encountering it over and over again, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And so you eventually get to a point where you're in this huge room, and you're being attacked by the Dahaka, but the wraith also shows up, and you manage to get out of the way in a way where the Dahaka grabs the wraith and destroys it and kills it. And you're just like, wow, that was close, but at least the wraith isn't following me anymore. And so you start moving through the rest of the game, and then the halfway point of the game happens where you discover that the thing that you were here to find doesn't exist anymore. Like, it just isn't.
Or doesn't exist yet?
Or something, yeah. Basically, it is, you came here for a thing. You came here, I think, for the Dagger of Time.
Well, no, you came here to prevent the Sands of Time from being created.
Yes, yeah.
You show up to try and convince the Empress of Time to not create the Sands of Time.
But then, like,
she's convinced you're going to murder her. There's, like, a whole thing.
Yeah, and then I think you do murder her. And
no, she runs away with you. She becomes your smooch. She becomes your smooch lady.
I'm trying to remember, because like in the middle of a game, whatever happens there, you, in trying to prevent the Sands of Time from being made, make the Sands of Time.
I mean,
you actively make them happen.
I think that's Game 3.
No, that's 2. It's definitely 2, because then he gets depressed, and then in his super depression, he's just like, oh god, I've just set all the horrible things that I tried to avoid in motion. Now everyone's definitely dead. Fuck. And he just kind of internally gives up and becomes the Wraith. So now he's a wraith, and he's walking around as this soulless husk thing, and you're doing all these superpowered. This is 2.
Exactly right to me.
It is, and
no, I remember the wraith and you switch places basically, and like you are the wraith. And
yeah, you are the wraith. But the trick being, eventually,
I just don't remember it as being that reason.
Eventually, you wind up finding your earlier self in a couple spots, and you
fuck them over, so you live through it this time.
Well, so like, thank you for jumping there. Yeah, you see your earlier self from the other perspective of a couple cutscenes, and
Warrior Within.
The Warrior Within, yes. Yeah. And you're seeing the opposite end of this, and you're trying to warn yourself from going in and starting all this, because you're like, okay, I make the Sands of Time happen, so if I can stop myself from doing that, then maybe I can fix this. So you keep trying to scare yourself away, inadvertently doing all the spooky things that the Wraith was doing to you earlier in the game. So you now get the perspective of, oh, the Wraith wasn't trying to kill me. The Wraith was trying to get me the fuck out of here so I don't fuck everything up.
There's also a bunch of other little time paradox shit you do between, like, I'm going to go back in time and move this pillar around so I can go forward in time and actually walk down this hallway shit.
So
like, all those classic stuff.
Well, so the big twist being, as all this stuff is happening, you're kind of settling into the idea of, like, oh, shit, so this is a stable time loop right here, which means, fuck, when I get to that room, I'm just going to die. Oh, no. And so you go to the room and you do the thing, and the Dahaka shows up, and instead of you getting... And so in the earlier thing, you get out of the way, and the Dahaka grabs the Wraith, and this time as the Wraith, you literally shove your old self into the path of the Dahaka to be killed. So old you is dead.
Yes, the time loop's very question mark at that point.
Old you is dead. You as the Wraith are able to cleanse yourself and become yourself again, so you're back to being the prince, and the Dahaka is like sated for a little bit, and then later is like, wait a minute, hang on a second, you're supposed to be dead though. I definitely killed you. What the fuck? It's a really wild, like, ampersand of twisting.
I think they do it a lot. I think they do really well. Warrior Within is very excellent, I think.
Oh man. But yes.
No, but honestly, I love overall. One of my favorite things about Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is as you go through the game, he starts the game in like full clothing, right? Full clothing, prince outfit. And it's like, we've hit a checkpoint, rip off this sleeve. We've hit another checkpoint, rip off left sleeve. We've hit halfway through the game, fuck this shirt. Like, he just slowly strips throughout the game, and it's great. I approve.
We just condense that down to what I love about the game is that our male protagonist is stripping slowly.
Gets more naked over the course of
the
game.
Look, I have no objections here. I'm just saying.
Oh, my God. But yeah, no, I don't even know how we got off onto this tangent.
Because Prince of Persia's excellent. And we should play those 3 games on channel 2 because they're good.
It's perfect
I like
that
them.
The video appears to be like buffering and doing weird shit now because
Look, but you're happy in the buffered frame, so it's okay.
I was.
Back in that moment.
Because I'm going to briefly talk about the situation with, oh man, of course, this is going to be all in the VOD, so surprise, people watching this after the fact. The 20th attempted upload of the Titan AE video has also been copyright blocked. I'm going to put a little more time into it. We're going to try a few more iterations, but if we get to a point where this video is like half as long as it started, I'm just going to put up some video that's like, hey, here's it starting, pew, 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 pew. Hey guys, and explain and have a URL. There's already going to be a full version, or a full version, like the original version I intended is an hour and 7 minutes long. The current version that got blocked is approximately 52 minutes long, so we've already lost more than 15 minutes of content.
Oh, yeah.
There will be a link to that. It'll be hosted on our website, DPAD.FM, but the version that goes up on YouTube, I'm just going to keep trying for like another week, and if by this time next week I still don't have a version that it'll make it up, then we'll do something with it. I don't know, but my suspicion is that that's what it's going to come down to, because every single upload so far, the copyright section that's blocked is a section between 85 to 95 seconds long, almost exactly a minute and a half every single time, and it just seems to be a random segment from the video, many of which include multiple clips that are all like separate and you know, all of that. But
broken up.
I do love that also, SD Hero with the Sands of Time framing device. He's like, every time you die, he's like, that's not what happened. Let's go back.
Never
sort of a Braid-esque kind of
great.
thing there too. Yeah,
it's just so cute.
But yeah, so we're back to the static again. Perfect. But yeah, so gonna give it another week. Gonna give it a few more attempts, at least another like 10 tries. We'll see how it goes. I hope that we will be able to get some version of this online, or at least onto YouTube. We'll certainly get one online. That's not the concern.
But it'll get online.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, is that we really want to like put this guy up for specifically like the patrons and fans who are involved, as much as us like wanting to put this video out. So like, worst comes to worst, it will be up in some format. We'll be able to see, see the whole thing.
As for the remaining specials, those are actually going to get pushed back to June for 2 reasons. One, this Titan AE video has taken up so much extra bandwidth that it's just like, okay, we got to just get on with shit. Also, so I've explained this 100 million times over the last year, but we have kind of 2 birthdays on the channel. We have April 3rd, which is when our first podcast went up, and June 20th, which is when our first Let's Play video was put online. And that was on our old website before we had a YouTube channel. So we kind of loosely have 2 different birthdays. We usually celebrate the April 3rd one in particular, but June 20th occasionally gets like a little something from us too. June 20th is also gonna be the 10th anniversary of Sonic Week. So by virtue of like, one of those specials is a D-list episode about Green Hill Zone. Another one is the best of the D-pad, which is entirely focused on Let's Play stuff. And like, all these things are all kind of condensed down to like Let's Play and Sonic related things in a way where it's like, okay, moving those to be more in line with that 10th anniversary seems fine. And I think we'll just kind of go with that. I have another 1 or 2 that I've got like that I'm already kind of working on anyway that might be in there too. The whole plan for that is going to be a lot more touch and go right now. We don't really have any like hard firm plans. Also, yeah, we're going to be celebrating Sonic's 30th birthday more than Sega does at this point.
Yeah, Rick 100%
this
celebrates his birthday more.
Yeah. Sonic's at this point, I'm wondering if Kirby's going to get a 30th birthday celebration before Sonic does, and Kirby celebrates his 30th birthday in 2022. So we'll see where that goes, I guess. But yeah, so some what remains of the specials are going to be pushed back to near the end of June. There may be another one or two that go along with it that are already kind of in progress anyway. Also, the best of the D-pad video is beefy, to say the least. What I've done so far is take the videos that are in that best of list and just grab those and throw them into a Premiere file, and not going off of just the clips that people actually were highlighting and stuff, but the raw videos themselves total about 78 hours of video.
Yep.
So that's all going to come down. It's 176 videos. I need to see if there's any streaming stuff that needs to get pulled in too, though that gets a little bit trickier just because we have a lot more like randomish sort of clips. So we'll see what we can do with that. But yeah, so there's a lot there. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and we're hoping to have some good stuff for June. I mean, maybe it's entirely possible that June 20th, that week, is just going to be like a handful of specials and no like big event, or there will be some kind of stream, or there'll be some kind of special video. I don't know. We haven't really planned anything out for that yet. We'll probably have at least internally a clearer picture of what that's going to be before the next Patreon hangout. Hopefully we'll be able to have something ready to announce for then. If not, then like maybe a week after that.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was a very long-winded route through all of our like stuff, all of our like series and things. I don't think there's anything that I've left out at the moment. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're going to call it here, though, because the stream is once again just kind of collapsing on itself on YouTube side. Well, on our network, but for you guys watching live, it's kind of falling apart. So I think we'll just call it here. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to?
I kind of wanted to like announce the next game, but if it's going to possibly be like buffer destroyed or whatever, I guess in the VOD it won't, and the VOD goes up to everyone.
They can also hear right now live too. So
all right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into the Patreon channel on our Discord.
Oh,
and I'm gonna post the game there because I think it's a neat benefit for you guys to know the game before non-patron people. I mean, patron people know pretty soon, but I'll post it in there because it'll be more fun, and then everybody else will be like, "Ooh, I wonder what it is." Do a little hype manufacturing. But yes,
this is the point where Jeff secretly plants a bunch of fake ideas just to see who spills the beans.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna track you down.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else?
SD Heroes joke was funny.
Yeah, honestly,
like just Sega's just sending him gift to Olive Garden. Ouch.
I hope that joke comes back in some capacity in the sequel too. It was a thing from the Sonic movie where like everybody kept talking about Olive Garden for whatever reason. It was such a bizarre.
I mean, maybe Olive Garden gave him money.
Guaranteed. You would never drop a reference like that multiple times in a movie like that without getting paid for it.
Sonic and the product placement.
Yeah. But yeah, so cool. I think that's probably it then. I think we're good.
Have fun with your Shrek watch party.
I will. Go say hi to Katie Bear and also go say hi to Tori. She's also playing some Bravely Default.
Definitely.
So I'll put details in the Patreon thing, but I'll announce the game in the Patreon thing in the Patreon channel on our Discord, and then I'll announce it like on the actual non-Patreon section of the Discord, and you guys will know then when you can talk about it.
All right,
cool.
Patreon.
I guess that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out for this. Next Patreon hangout, I believe, is going to be Friday, May 28th. I think that's the right date. The month after that, odds are we're going to do it a week early.
We might not. I don't know if we can do that date in May.
What date in May?
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it can't be the 20th because we're
bad
gonna be
date in May.
So
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're gonna be camping.
let me double check something real quick. Okay, July has 5 Fridays in it, so I think we're gonna do 1 week after for these. So I believe the May hangout is going to be on June 4th, and then
The June hangout will be on July 2nd.
will be on July 2nd. Yeah, I think that's
All
how
right,
we'll
that
do
works.
And then the actual July hangout will be on the 30th.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like, all right, 3 weeks until this one, and then we get a month, and then we get this like huge stretch before it get like 6 weeks before it gets to.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
We'll just squish
all
it
right.
back slightly.
So yeah, it'll be the first time in a while outside of the outside of the 10th anniversary one that we've done outside of the month it's in for a while now. But I think having it set down ahead of time should make it okay. So I'll update the Patreon post so that people have the right date, and we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye. We love you.